Hi everyone, I'm DJ Shani and today once more I'm dealing with Robin Hood the Legend of Sherwood. I'd like to show you the printed guide that I've been mentioning every now and then. It's in a PC magazine called CD Games. As you can see, it's the 2003 first issue, so it's quite old, almost as old as the game. In fact, it's only like a few months older than the game. Obviously this is in Hungarian, but I'll try to point out a few interesting things that everyone can understand. And this magazine is unusual because, as opposed to the other ones, it mainly has walkthroughs for video games. It's before YouTube or the internet would have been quite popular and widespread in every home. If I open it up, here's the contents and the editorial and shit. And it has two game reviews, one at the front and one at the back. The first one is this game called Wheel Rock. It looks kind of mediocre to me. And the second one is Ghostmaster, which reading this short review and the longer one in another magazine, I really would have loved to play this game, but there was no way I could have gotten it because I had no internet back then and none of the local stores had it. And then later I bought it on Steam and turned out it's not that great because it's not really straightforward in what you have to do and shit. Up next is the Robin Hood guide, which as a matter of fact is quite detailed. It begins with describing a few key features of the game. For example, it mentions the importance of silhouettes, which I've been toggling with caps lock, and it really is important. And it also praises the saving system, mentioning that when you make a quick save, it doesn't just override the previous one, it also saves the previous one under the name alternative save. Unfortunately, the images are unrelated to which mission it's describing on that particular page. And I have no idea which mission this structure is from. I guess it's a concept art of sorts. And what I also love is that whenever it begins a mission, it states its place and then the time it takes place and whether, for example, here it says place Lincoln on a sunny afternoon, morning. And it also says how much money you can find on the map in total and in pouches and on people. For some reason it's not using the proper pound symbol. The one it's using, I guess it's some Polish crap letter. Then another thing I noticed, I think when I was really young, is that you can see the characters have, or Robin has, 999 items on him. That is due to a cheat. And when I was young, I thought that, wow, the maker of the writer of the guide was using cheats. Well, maybe it's because he wanted to get more easily to a few parts of the game that he wanted to show us, or he wanted to experiment with things, so he can describe them better. But then, around the time I started making these videos about Robin Hood playthrough, I realized that the Steam store page of this game has the exact same pictures. So these are not images taken by the author of the guide. These are just kind of stock images. And unfortunately, I must say that the guide has a few minor flaws. Because, for example, when it gets to the Duff and Lincoln missions, it says that when you go on a mission where you have to steal food or arrows, you have to send your particular character who can pick them up with an empty inventory. So apparently the author didn't know about the way you can throw things, which I can kind of understand because I think it was my third time playing through this game and it was only now that I discovered it. I think. I am not positive, but when I began the game I did not remember that you can throw things. And in this box the author describes each character, whether a named main character or just a random named merryman, what they can do, what their special abilities are, etc. And what I love is what he calls this guy, little man with pitchfork and striped pants. By the way, he describes the Duff and Lincoln Sherwood ambush missions as if they weren't random. He says that after this you get this and this Sherwood mission to choose from, while for me they were random. But regardless, this is such a well-written guide that after having done a video about a mission, I'd like to read what this guide had to say about that particular mission, just for the fun of it. And when I was very young, when I first got this magazine, I was reading the guide just for entertainment, because I didn't have the full game, but I liked what you can do and have to do in it. Then I found out that the mission in the demo of Robin Hood was in this guide as well. What made it harder to figure out was that it's called Scarlet Night in the guide, it takes place at night, and it comes before you would have Little John, Freyrtak or Marian, but in the demo you have them. And it was so wonderful reading about a game I was currently playing, even if it was only for one mission. Oh, and here's where he says that he got 98% lifespan ratio. I guess you can understand the 98 yourself.